Okay. So for a few decades, we used to have a very simple model for accessing the web with three basic assumptions. First one is that bot crawl the web and human are interacting or browsing with the web. Okay, and this gave us a very clear technical distinction between automated processes and human interactive users. Now, the second assumption was that we have robots.txt files. For those who don't know what it is, so it's a textual file that exists in almost every website that tells automatic processes what they can or cannot access in the website. So well-behaved bots respected what was written in this file, and this actually gave security providers a clear way to distinguish between human users who would interact with the website and automated processes that would try to access the website, and they could differentiate between the both and enforce policies. Now, what happened since then is that we shifted from crawlers to what we have today, AI browsers. Let me walk you through that. So we used to have simple scripts with very simple goal to get data to access web using very simple tools like CRL, wget, few lines of code, very basic. Then we had automated frameworks that could accomplish more complex tasks, but still within a defined scope. Then we progressed into more human-like automation. So we had those frameworks now introducing things like mouse movements and keystrokes, but still within a limited scope. Then we had all-in-one frameworks that packaged everything into an off-the-shelf solution, but still designed to accomplish very specific tasks like ticket purchasing, automated ticket purchasing, um, and were designed to go grab that information or do that task in very specific places or very specific websites. So you have those tools, but still as sophisticated as they were, still limited to defined scope or the predefined websites. Then AI entered the game, and we had AI agents or assisted agents that could plan for any task that you wanted to do in the web, but still the web access that they activated was pretty simple. And lastly, we have AI agents or AI browsers that can plan and execute any kind of task and access any kind of web content in a fully fledged browser capability. And this AI system actually challenged those assumptions that I talked about before, because now we have crawling or data harvesting in a much more aggressive way. All those AI providers want to grab everyone's data to power their LLMs. And not only that, the AI systems now know to learn and to adapt to security controls that websites place. And now what happens is that we have a we have a problem because security providers, website owners don't know how to distinguish between AI systems and human access. And this manifested in a very public dispute not too long ago between Cloudflare, who claimed that Perplexity is actually trying to manipulate their security policies by circumventing IP addresses, trying to impersonate legitimate browsers. And on the other hand, Perplexity said, Cloudflare, you just did your job because we're doing what our users want us to do. They want us to fetch, they want to accomplish specific tasks, and for that we need to fetch data on their behalf. So we're just doing what our users want us to do. And the reality is that AI browsers today are actual full, there are browsers. They can render full web pages with the complete DOM construction. They can execute JavaScript. They have session management with authenticated sessions and persistent cookies, and they operate within user context, meaning they can use your identities and your browser fingerprint, the same way that you do. And let me introduce this very simple use case. Walmart, I guess everyone knows Walmart, a major retailer in the US with physical stores and e-commerce stores. And they have a lot of deals and sales. And because of that, they are a prime target for automated processes that try to access this data and steal it and use it for their own good. So what we have here is an AI browsers that I gave it a very simple instruction. Go to Walmart and fetch all the flash deal information and prices. So the AI browsers knows to plan and to execute. It goes to the Walmart page. It searches for the flash deal section. It identifies it. And then it knows how to grab all the products, all the information. It knows that it has multiple pages it needs to go through. And it does all of that automatically. And by the end of the process, you get on the sidebar, you get like a full list of all the products, of all the prices, and everything that you wanted. So why does traditional control no longer holds? Because as we've seen, we have those AI browsers, and they don't comply with robots' TXT files. Like, they completely ignore it. They don't have unique technical signatures. They actually operate as a real browser. And as a real browser, they can solve any kind of challenges that you give them. You give them JavaScript challenge or a CAPTCHA challenge, but they can solve it. And not only that, they go through all the checks of identity, because they are operating with your identity, your Walmart authenticated session. So there is this draft by the IETF called WebBotAuth that is trying to solve this problem, but it has some limitations. So let me go very quickly about what WebBotAuth is. So it's a way to verify whether a bot is a legitimate or not by using attestation tokens. You can think about it as a digital badge ID for bots. So how does it work? Sorry. So you have a bot that requests to access a website, and before it answers, it must present a token, an attestation token that proves that it comes from a verified environment, from a well-known place. And as a website owner, you need to check that, and if it's okay, you allow access, and if not, it's considered as unverified. However, this only solves the problem if the bot actually uses this system. And it doesn't solve the problem if you're trying to differentiate between an actual AI system to a human user. And organizations are trying to regulate the automation processes and frameworks that are accessing their content. And they're now trying to do it in what is being called pay-per-crawl policies. But the major problem with this policy is that you cannot enforce it if you cannot detect it. And this whole mechanism of WebBotAuth is completely voluntary. And as we know, hackers or adversaries, their whole purpose is to try to disguise their activity. So they will not voluntarily give this information. And what's even worse, if you introduce a system to verify their identity, they will just try to abuse it. So this means that we need to shift our mindset from bot detection to intent detection. And this is something that was mentioned before. We need to shift from like old paradigm of detecting who is accessing the web content to why is the web content being accessed. So we need to shift from detecting machine versus human by using technical signatures, markers for automation, to a new paradigm where we want to detect harmful versus legitimate intent by using behavior analysis focused on specific session purpose. And the core question that we need to be asking ourselves is this: is the session behaving like a legitimate user would, or is it trying to accomplish something malicious? Now, as automation becomes more indistinguishable from real users, web security paradigm needs to evolve into these three pillars. First one, intent-based security by analyzing behavioral purposes rather than technical implementation. Second, identity-based access where you can tie permission to verified users. And the third one, which is not less, which is as important, is to have the security guardrails built within the tools themselves. So you have those AI browsers, they need to be able to identify malicious activity if the user is trying to accomplish that. Now, let's conclude with that. The era of simple bot detection is over. And as you've seen. And as security leaders, we must architect for a world where AI agents are indeed legitimate users. And intent, not implementation, defines the threat surface. Thank you.